Why you agree with it, girl?
Okay.
That's what we playing that game. But
Okay,
we
so
can't blame them. And when we ask them, we just gotta say why we agree with it. We're not knowing nothing. We don't care why they don't. You know what I'm saying? We just tell them why we knew. Talking to the people. We lying.
Yeah, we gonna have to make sure we read though, man. We only got
We
7 pages.
might not.
We might not. Jamie said shit. Jamie starting shit.
Nah, this is promoting and we didn't get it not.
Right,
But
right, right,
put,
right.
put, put the post up so everybody else can read and we don't start from that. Yeah.
I gotta find the motherfucker now, man. Hold up.
yeah, put it up real quick, man. Yeah, put it up.
You look
Yeah,
forward
we
to,
gonna
Gerald.
go, lady.
Look.
Keep
Huh?
letting everybody out there. Give an introduction. You know, we live now. Yeah.
Hey, look forward with me, Gerald.
Uh-huh.
Hold on a minute.
Oh, I got okay. Oh, never mind. I think I got a
Hey,
picture
hey,
of
hey,
it.
hey, hey, Gerald, play that song right quick.
That I was playing.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Hey, Jamie, I'm gonna send it to you.
No, man. Hey, no, just
No,
play. Oh, yeah, yeah.
no,
Okay, I
no.
can put it up.
It's just a reading. It's just a
Okay, go
reading.
ahead. All right.
Hold up a second. All right. All right. Here we go. Send it to Gerald, or it'll be up anyway. Peace to everybody out there. And this is Uncle, man. We just we getting prepared, man. We on something different today. Jamie and Gerald done got into it, so we about to uncover something and get into it a little deeper. So just be patient. We'll be right back at you.
and I said that the video we gonna play.
Okay, bet. And I sent them the a picture of it, so we can refer back to the picture if necessary. And
Yeah. They can read it and thing, and they can do a mental exercise while they're drink. Another drink when we get into it. You know.
right, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Carrie was
But really,
disappointed.
I'm knowing this because you said you're the one sharing it with people. You know, and I'm knowing in their mind, they might agree with you, but according to, their concept, you know what I'm saying, how we gonna deal with it, what we think, because we were former in religion, you know what I'm saying, you know,
Right, right,
um, and the last statement says, there's a difference between people in religion and people living with reality, you know what I'm saying, so,
right,
I'm a
right.
spiritual person now, so I can agree with it. A religious person might agree with some stuff, might not. We don't try to give an understanding on it.
Yeah, and remember, I was sharing with the guys that second step says, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So it wasn't, about, the God itself. It was about a power greater than ourselves. But people go to God all the time, right? I mean, that's the first jump off, right? And I'm saying there's a difference, right? Right. So that's just for the audience where we got this from. So. But we definitely ain't dealing with no 12-step program on this. We're just talking, conversating. So
And that video my Scarface, I hit you, that one we gonna open up with.
Jamie?
Now you, Jamie
Okay.
said you in control tonight. He got his video me
Oh, he
popping.
wanted me to play it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I hit the video to you.
Okay. Hold up a second.
We're gonna get into it right after the video.
I bet. Let me get that real quick.
Classic that Public Enemy did back in the day.
Okay. Okay, bet.
When old Scarface did it, he updated it.
Okay, bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me share screen. You can hear that?
You ain't played it yet. Uh-uh.
Still can't hear it?
Uh-uh.
No, why it's not playing, Gerald. I'll have to send it to you to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, probably because I got the. Hold up. Hold up. I got it.
To shape the future.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's rock and roll, fam.
Already.
Bound to shape the future.
I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened and read it. They telling me to get it. It said that the message I was bringing for destruction. I put the pen to the pad and said, fuck them. Here's a land that never gave a damn about a brother like me from the jump. They'd rather see me slump. Face down, shot 5 or 6 times with my kid and her mama in the car, parked brown as I was dying. Stop lying. It's a black and white thing. Redneck ass judge would rather watch a nigga hang than indict what's white. That's right. Fuck a news feed. Black man got the same needs as the Jews need. Fool me? I demand reparation. Fuck a cowboy. I'm a native, robbed of my nation. I'm an African. Black man. Walk down my language. Got me praying to a white boy. God, that's insane. And if you ask me why they steadily harass me, I reply with that these motherfuckers nasty. And I'm a god, yet they calling me a nigga. They scared of me, so they try to hide behind the trigger, acting badass. Fuck a honky with the badge. I'm a nigga with an attitude. You can kiss my black ass. Ain't no sense in niggas being diplomatic. Televised the revolution that these motherfuckers have it. I'm calling up the homies face, said to come through. And I run with the niggas, they scared to come shoot. Take an eye for an eye, take a tooth for two. Do unto others as some others would do unto you. And all they say is make America great. What America hates, kept America straight and America safe. Fuck that flag. My people are not really want to touch that flag. So quick to try.
Damn, Gerald.
That they blaming me, and it's plain to see that they mad at that. Like I'm a magic act. Yeah, imagine that. Motherfucker, I'm black fucking soldiers. Super quick to steal one's culture, trying to make it your own. Caveman, go home. Over 10 long nose, funny looking ass Donald. Got his nerve disrespecting President Obama. If you don't want us around, then let us leave. Pay the money you've been owing my people since they was set free. That 40 acres and a mule never came, but yet we're still outstanding. Outstanding in the brain, just waiting. Patient, pacing, and praying for God to step up. But nah, it ain't shit shaking. I was mistaken thinking scripture could have helped us. Following the fate of our very own oppressors. No justice, just us. Look at how the aftermath of slavery today still affects us. Our kids educated by the enemy. And they don't know shit about their history, because they ain't teaching that in school. Leave it up to the coons, and all that's cool. Let the bygones be bygones. And besides, we've been killing off our homes. Shut the fuck up, you know what? Uncle Tom House niggas slaves need a motherfucking just cut. I'm back still in the hour of the chaos, and black lives still don't matter till you stay out.
Damn, that's cold, Gerald.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah. Welcome to Sankofa
Yeah.
180 degrees. We back at you. Jamie will be back on in a minute. We got Gerald here. Other affiliates are out handling business. So we welcome everybody to Sankofa 180 degrees to vibe with us and build with us on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we activate Friday open mic night, Friday, 7 p.m. That means bring your topic. Bring your topic. Let's talk about it. We ain't got all the answers, man. And we just want to communicate, man, and see where everybody at, man, and spread some knowledge. More preferably Afro-centered knowledge, but bring your topic. Sundays we do a presentation at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do that live on Zoom. Fridays on Zoom too. Sundays is a presentation about our African culture, typically our Nile Valley culture, and excuse me, the Nile Valley culture, and we do a presentation and we discuss what we present, and we open up for dialogue. After, sometimes during. So this is what we're doing today. We got a topic that we're going to talk about, and a post that Gerald put up, and we're going to discuss that a little bit. Peace and love. For every first Sunday of each month is the children's book read. We do that because the kids need to know their culture, their Afro-centered culture. We talk about real events, real places, and real locations. We also do a raffle for the kids where you put your name on a wheel, you spin that baby, and the kid can win a free book, real good quality books, to quality visuals. They're again about real events, real people, and real locations. And we send that off to you free. We just ask that the child that receives the book comes back in the next month and reads on the first Sunday with the rest of the kids, and share that knowledge, man, share your appreciation. But it's not, written in stone. Well, we're going to send it to you free, no shipping, no charge, no nothing. We just need your address to ship it to you. What would it do, Gerald?
Well, no. Oh, Lord.
Let me say that just real quick, Gerald. I told
Mhm.
Mo Roland that I was going to shout him out, man. Peace and love to you, boy. Keep on healing, man. I know you're going to be on when you can get on, boy. You got a few more sessions to go, and in August you'll be all good and free and clear, baby. We at Sankofa love you, man. You all that with us. So sending you positive vibes and divine healing all day. And take your time to get that done. And love the family and keep putting out them posts, baby. Keep feeding the flock, man. What it do?
Really. I want to know things as well. What I'm up, what I'm learning, having me here. You'll move forward. They'll get longer. Hope my voice getting a little better. But I'm here. They're standing. And like I said, taking actually 2 weeks away from the read. We still into it. But just showing a little different side of us in the deal with a post that I made and engaged a little bit in it to see what we get out of it, you know. But in 2 more weeks, we'll be back into the book. And next week, me, the children's read, and just trying to fill a void, trying to fill a gap where we know there's something missing, Ain't no reason to complain about it, do something about it. So we use the platform to try to share information dealing with our history, our culture, our country mission, you know, and we know we're Lord. You know, we don't know everything, you know. We welcome any and everybody who got information that they can provide. Come sit and heal with us, you know. It don't matter. Give some time with your family. Learn about, you know, yourself from an African point of view, you know. Get true education, you know what I'm saying? Nothing foreign, nothing alien. But, I don't know if Jamie met, but there you go. I'm saying it like you. I don't know.
That's right, family. That's right thing, man. Thanks for joining us, man. Of course, it's me. I'm here, man. Peace to y'all, man. Sorry about that. I had to get something to eat, man. I was hungry. Hey, but peace to the family, man. We back at y'all once again, man. So yeah, man. Gerald had a cold post. The divine God self. That's what it's called, man. I'm gonna put it up, man. I don't know. This is as big as I can get it, man.
Hey, and anybody that's watching this and wants to come on in, man. Come on in. Let's talk
Ain't
about it.
just as big as I can get it. It's just as big as it can get. But here it go. Anyway, uh, Unc, you want me to read it? You gonna read it? What you want to do?
Go ahead. I'm gonna take a station break real quick. That's as big as you can
Okay.
get it.
Yeah, that's
What about
yeah.
Gerald's post? Is that Gerald's post,
The
or is that my
divine God
picture?
self. No, that's the you sent it to me. God is consciousness, not a creator.
Okay. All right. I thought
Yeah.
Gerald sent you his post, but
Did you send it to me, Gerald?
he just sent the song, I think.
Yeah, I think he just sent the song.
Yeah,
Let me see.
it's all good though. Anybody that has a touch screen can enlarge it anyway. So
Oh, you can?
yeah, it's all good.
All right, so
You got a touch screen. You on your phone or you're on your computer? You should
I'm
be
on
able,
talking to me.
yeah, I don't know if you got a touch
Yeah,
screen, but if you got
no,
a
I'm on
touch screen on your computer, you can enlarge it. But if not, then you can't go up to magnify and enlarge it, make it bigger.
hold on. It don't give me a magnifying. Yeah, it don't get it to me. Let's see.
He just sent a message saying that he's working still.
Okay. Uh, yeah, this is as big as I can get it, King.
Okay.
All right, you see that?
Yeah.
You can see it. All right. So it says the divine God self, know thyself. God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It's not he or she. It is not independent of you. It is the totality of everything. So when I call myself God, I'm not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about the expression of God, of the God. I'm sorry, of the God self that rests inside of me. The verb, the energy, not the noun. Once you think God is a noun, person, place, or thing, you separate yourself from it and immediately become a limited being. That's what separates the believers, religious, from the knowers, spirituality. So,
Put this one up that I just sent you, Jamie.
all right, hold on.
See if that one is better. Yeah, that was one of Gerald's posts. Gerald be throwing it down on that, boy. He got that work for you.
Mm.
All right, it's a bigger one. Yeah, it's bigger.
I just cropped it. It might be
Yeah, it's bigger.
larger to some, so it might be bigger.
Yeah, it's bigger. See that?
Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
It's better, huh?
All
Yeah.
right. All right, man. So this is what we talking about. I can read it again if you want.
Okay, go ahead.
God is consciousness, not a creator. God is the source of creation itself. It's not he or she. It is not and it's not independent of you. It is the totality of everything. So when I call myself God, I'm not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about the expression of the God self that rests inside of me. The verb, the energy, uh, not the noun. Once you think God is a noun, a person, place, or thing, you separate yourself from it and immediately become a limited being. That's what separates the believers, religious, from knowers, spiritual. Uh, I'm gonna tell you just straight up. I wrote with everything in here.
Okay.
Right? Because
Yeah.
so what this is doing, this is a description. So they're giving it
Okay.
a description here. So okay, I can roll with that. Easy.
Now, the exercise is to read each one and to think before you had knowledge yourself, when you have a problem with it or when you not.
If I didn't have my knowledge of self, you said?
It was a point where none of us in here had knowledge of self.
All right.
And we might have disagreed with some of these statements. All
All
right?
right. All right.
And when we reread it, if we can go back to a point where we didn't have knowledge of self, let's say why or why not we would have disagreed with it.
All right. Well, that's okay. All right. God is consciousness. Uh, that
Not
first
a
part.
creator.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, God is consciousness, not a creator. Okay, so if I were a Christian, that's what we're doing, right?
Yeah, when you were never a Christian, I think.
Huh?
You were never a Christian.
No, I never was a Christian, brother. I never did that one. Yeah, I refuse to commit to anything, man. But I studied it though. I did study it.
But you can still
So
relate.
I know what it is. I know what it is. Okay, so God is consciousness, not a creator. All right, so uh that's wrong because God is consciousness. With some explanation, uh we might get around that one, but not a creator. You can't say that he's not a creator because God created everything, sun, moon, and stars. So you can't say that. That's dead wrong.
Mm.
Uh, like I said, God created you, me, and the sun, moon, and stars. No, that's right. All right. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Damien on that part right there. You know, me as a Christian, I'm not agreeing with that part.
nah, hell nah, nah, man, because yeah, you can't write that and think that a Christian gonna go with that. Not a creator. You know that he is the creator,
Well,
right?
how do you know in it?
Huh?
You said earlier you know with everything on now. How do you know in it?
God is consciousness. Well, because I think that I mean, I just think that God. Well, I think that God can only be in a man's mind. You know, I mean, it's a thought. So I mean, that's I guess that's what it is, a thought. Uh, which is uh, which is consciousness, I guess. So uh, I can roll with that, being a thought, being what I think, what the best way to explain creation. Uh, well, I guess that's yeah, consciousness. Yeah, I mean, you have to have. It's almost like life. I mean, that's yeah, I could go with that. Uh, why I can say not a creator because then I would have to believe in a God if I said it was a creator. So I don't believe. I think we all creators. Uh,
How would you deal with that one?
Yeah, that's an easy one, man. For me, God not being a creator on as a Christian, I'm not buying that. You know, because right
right.
off the bat in the Bible, the first jump off is about creation, right? So, I can't do that. Um, and
Do
that God's
you
conscious,
agree with it?
and why do I agree with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know that God is a made up word. I know that um, if I'm looking at it as God, I'm trying to describe what God is. Right? I have a description of what God is. Right? And we talked about, if I say that I'm God too, but to somebody, they're gonna go bananas on it, especially to a Christian, right? But as we go further, uh, it gets more interesting. So that's the easy one. That God is not a creator. No, as a Christian, I would not buy that. As have a knowledge of self, I would. I just can't describe who God is, and I think it's a made up concept, anyways. How about you?
When I'm looking at it, my mind would go, God is consciousness and the creator. My mind would agree with that way more. But me trying to understand how would I agree with God is consciousness, not a creator. It's more of a concept like I heard before that it,
You're breaking up, Gerald.
Hold on, Joe. You broke up.
You
Hold
still
on.
broke.
Start all over.
Man.
Sorry about that, Gerald.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know what be happening. Can I
Good.
hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you
Yep.
clear now.
Yeah, then it wasn't no creation. It always was, you know. So I've heard of that concept before, you know. But my mind more make you want to say and a creator more than not a creator. But cause I do think there was a beginning, you know what I'm saying? Now, in the beginning, that always was consciousness. Always was consciousness. But then,
So then there was always energy there.
Yeah, but that's saying that's sharing from the mind of knowing thyself, though.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
hold
but we
on,
ain't
because
Yeah,
asking that
that
because
first.
was, that
We
was,
ain't
because
I'm
asking
answering
that
from
first.
my mind. I'm answering from mine now. I'm agreeing that they were saying not a creator. I'm trying to say, how can I agree with that? That I don't have a problem with it saying not a creator. You
right.
with
Okay.
Right.
me? And
Yeah.
I made this post, and that was the most thing. All this happening is not a creator. So if somebody asked me, well, how you agree with that? I'm trying to say I heard on the concept, and then when I met to that point that consciousness always was. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But I do know they talked about the first time with creation, you know, from the now Valley. They talking about this concept, help when it's called the first time.
Yep.
And they deal with, yeah, they deal with that as creation. Then when you get your creation story, you know what I'm saying? But, God is something is not a creator.
Hey, you know what? Because I'm gonna tell you something. Because if you think that he is a creator, anytime that you think that he is, then that's you looking outside of yourself for you, right? That's all that is. But God is consciousness, which is me, which is my consciousness,
Right. Right.
right? Which is my consciousness, because my consciousness is the only one that can bring that up.
But let's
Yeah.
go to the next one and see
Okay.
if that contradict anything we're saying.
Okay. God is the source of creation itself. Not it, not he or she. It is not dependent of you or me.
All right, now, God is the source of creation itself. Yeah.
You agree or disagree? And if you agree, why you agree? If you disagree, why do you disagree?
Well, because I could say that I am the source of creation itself,
All right.
right? That's how I look at it. I am the source of creation itself,
Oh,
right? Now they saying that it's not a he or she. It's everything. It's everything.
okay.
It is not independent, and it's not independent of you. That's right. Not yeah. It's including me. It's everything
No.
that is including me, right? And it's the totality of everything. Like I said, it's everything. So I agree with all that.
What about you, all?
Yeah. So God is the source of creation. I'm still in the, as a Christian, that's easy, right? Accept that 100%. Right? No problem with that. It is not a he or she. Got a problem with that right off the top. right? Has to be a male. Not to get into all the biblical detail of that stuff, but that's what my response would be. Definitely can't agree with that part. And then it goes into having a description of what God is, anyways. That's beyond my scope. And then once again, I still think it's a made up word, and it's just populated. So it is not independent of me or you. It says you, but I got to put me in there. It's not independent of me because in my comedic mind, knowing thyself, I know that God is the source of all creation itself. But I don't know if it's God. I just know that uh, uh, that I'm seem to be made up of everything, right? And then you have to get into the Enid, the Agdad, the primordial ooze, and the primordial waters and all that stuff. So God is the source of creation itself, and I'm part of all that, right? In the beginning and the end of it. I don't think there's an end. It is not he or she, can be, just putting a description on it, and I think too often we try to make God man. Right? Yeah, his hands, his arms extended, looking at the eye of God and all these kind of things, man. Just crazy shit to me now. So that's as far as we got. What about you?
God is the source of creation itself. I have no problem with that, and neither mind. Like, it's not a he or she. In my Christian mind, like, it definitely would have been a he only. Period. No argument. In my mind right now, I know the source is above gender. It
Right.
includes both genders. So I have no problem with it with my knowledge itself. It is not independent of you. In my Christian mind, yeah, I would have said God is independent of me. It
I
don't
would
got
I
nothing to do
would
with
I would
me.
agree with that right there, what you just
Yeah,
said. Yeah, without a doubt.
you ain't shit. God is God. That was my knowledge of self. No, ain't no separation between me and the creator or me and this consciousness. There's no separation. I and that creation are one. It is the totality of everything. Yeah, when I was a Christian, I would have said, now God ain't about the devil and, or whatever name is, God ain't got nothing to do with it. But me is now, yeah, it's the totality of everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It ain't no separation.
Earlier before we went live, Jamie was going in on, first we have to establish, what God we talking about. And then all of a sudden it goes to, well, what do you mean with God, right? So, there was a big discussion about that part right there prior to going live.
Yeah, they describe it in right now though.
Yeah. We knew that when you was going off about it.
Man,
All
you know
right.
I gotta start something, man. You know I gotta start something.
I love it. Love it. All right. So
Lord.
when I call myself God, I am not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about the expression of God, of the God self, that rests inside of me, the verb, the energy, not the noun. Once you think,
It's not like that.
I know, we read way too much.
Yeah. That's a lot in this verse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you go ahead on that first sentence. You agree on
Okay.
this one, and why not? Or go for both minds. Like,
So when I call myself God, I'm not talking about my personal self. When I call myself God, I am talking about the totality. And the consciousness, got to go back to the consciousness of creation anyways. And I believe that I'm part of that. And there again, you go to the Enid, the Adat, and the primordial waters, and to get into an expanded conversation. So that's my answer on that. As a Christian, so when I call myself God, that shit wouldn't be happening. That'd be blasphemy. Definitely going to hell. Go ahead.
yeah.
Well, you know what? Only reason because it's a big G, because they do got a passage in there that say that ye are all gods. So they'll tell you yeah with a small G. So that's how they gonna get that's so that's iffy right there.
Hey, that's small G, right?
That's iffy right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, right, right. Go
that's
ahead,
iffy
Jay.
on the Christian tip. You know what I'm saying? When I call myself a god, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm not
how I
talking
really
about
know him
my personal self. He ain't
on
talking about huh? Go ahead.
on how I read on now. Which part is that?
What you said was God is what?
How they
Oh,
spelled it
just
on
on what we
him?
read, what God you talking about, James?
Yeah, how they
The,
spelled
the
on
one the
now.
one the one they well the one that they describing right now. So when I call myself a God, listen. He said I'm not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about the expression of the God self. He ain't talking about so basically energy, right?
So, so, well, yeah, you never was. It wasn't time you didn't have knowledge yourself. When you agree with that or not agree with it, when you didn't have knowledge yourself.
Well, because I have always been on the fence about all this, you know what I'm saying, all for for all those books, you know what I'm saying, from the Quran to the Bible, you know what I'm saying. I've always been on the fence with them,
So
you know what I mean.
before you got involved with Kemetic thought, where would you be at with that statement?
Before I got into Kemetic thought,
Yeah, just go back.
God is consciousness, because well,
Now you can't answer a
now
question. You
I
can't
know
answer a
that
question with because first.
I
Starting
know
a
that
sentence with because.
I know that I know that not a God is consciousness, not a creator. Yeah, I don't think I would agree with that, because you just said everybody said God is a creator, so I wouldn't agree with that off the bat. Before I ran into Kemetic thought, God is a source of creation itself. Um, I could go with that. I would have rolled with that. Uh, it's not a he or she. I could have rolled with that. It's not independent of you. I could have rolled with that. It is the totality of everything. I could have rolled with that. So when I call myself a God, I've done that as well too. So I agree with that. I'm not talking about my personal self. I'm talking about expression. I can roll. I could have rolled with that, even when I wasn't, because like I said, I've always been on the fence. I've always had reservations and a whole lot of questions about both. The Nation of Islam, the Moor Science Temple of America, uh, the Sunnis. I've always had questions. It's just a whole bunch of damn questions. Christians, the Hebrew Israelites. I studied with them cats too. You know what I'm saying? It was just always been on the fence with all of it, man. Never committed to any of it. You know what I mean? So, but I've studied it. So I kind of had my own thing going as far as what I thought I knew. You know what I'm saying? So all this stuff doesn't sound like it would have been crazy to me. Maybe, like I said, not a creator. I probably would have disagreed with that. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah. Hold on.
jump in. When I call myself God, I'm not talking. And you said earlier, when I was Christian, ain't no calling myself God. That was blasphemy. And me and my knowledge of self, right. I know I'm not talking about my physical or personal knowledge. I'm talking about my soul, which is connected to the Creator. You know, I am talking about the expression of the God self that rests inside of me, exactly in my soul, which is not separate from the God consciousness. So, um, I would agree, like I said, in my knowledge self, I have no problem with it. With my not knowledge self, I don't even plan on I am God. Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even be buying none of it.
So you couldn't call you. So you would have never said when I call myself God. You would have never said that, huh?
No, never get into the, and you went, well, how you train it, you know, no, that's blasphemy. That's automatic. You're not God. No
Yeah,
way, no how. Now,
but
I heard about it, and I used to say it, dealing with rap music, dealing through the five pillars. They was always on the yard. But I really had no true knowledge of self yet, you know.
yeah, but see now, because I've always I did read the part where it say, "Ye are all gods." You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Children of the Most High God. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've always yeah. So me saying that I'm a God wouldn't have been wouldn't strange either to me. You know what I mean? So like I said, and I took pieces and parts out of everything, and I kind of made my own thing up, man. I had my own thing going. You know what I mean?
mm,
You know, I took pieces out of Nation of Islam. I took pieces out of Moorish Science Temple of America. I took pieces out of Christianity, pieces out of the Sunnis. You know, I just took little pieces and parts and shit, man.
mm,
You know, uh, yeah, man. So I kind of was on my own little thing, man.
mm,
Right. So I'm talking about the expression of God, of the God self that rests in me.
So it says, I am talking about the expression of the God self that rests inside of me. So that's what they talking about, and I agree with that. I'll roll with that.
mm,
Yeah, the expression of the God self that rests inside of me. Yeah, yeah. When I was before I ran into Kemetic thought, yep, I could have rolled with that. The
Yeah, see,
verb.
I grew up calling my boys God, peace to the God, love to the God. What up, God?
mm,
I had still had a clear distinction that was not talking about a God where I could be considered blasphemous. You can bank on
mm,
that, right?
Yeah.
Right?
mm.
Yeah, ain't no question.
Right. Mm,
Even in the crib, that's hoops upside your head, no doubt about it. Right? So, uh,
So when they talk about energy, I could have rolled with that
yeah. So the verb,
because it,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead and read it though, Jamie.
So the verb, the energy, not the noun. Once you think God is a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, you separate yourself from it.
Oops, stop right there. Stop right
Yeah,
there. Once you think God is a noun, person, place, or thing, now you starting shit.
yeah. Now you looking outside yourself for
Yeah.
something that's already there.
Yeah, God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit is one is all three in one person, right? One person. That's what it says. So there's a problem there, you know. with
Yeah.
comedic thought, and I ain't got no problem with that at all. And once again, I know it's a made up word, and we're talking about, the all, then that's a whole different thing.
The verb energy, not the noun. See, I could have roll with that. I never looked at this guy because you got Allah, you got and you got the biblical guy, and they don't fuck with each other. Excuse my language. They don't mess with each other though. You know what I mean? One guy tell you to stay away from them.
In the
You know
same
what I mean?
book.
Tell his people to stay away from them. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't so like so that's why you know you, once you turn them into a person, place, a thing. Now y'all dealing with multiple gods around here. You know what I'm saying? Your God better than my God, or my God better than your God. I mean, you know what I mean? And why your God do this and why your God didn't do that? Types. Just it's just weird, man. But no, I never. I never really got into believing like Yahweh or Yahshua or Jesus or Allah. I studied them though. You know, I studied them. You know, that is what I did do that. I studied with the Melanics. You know what I'm saying? They dealt with Nat Turner. That was they prophet. It's Nat Turner. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, man. So yeah, it's uh, but then it say once you think God is a noun, person, place, a thing, you separate yourself from it immediately, become a limited being. So now you ain't even divine no more. You done gave your shit up. You done gave your divinity up, man.
But in Christianity,
Yeah,
you're gonna ride with that.
yeah.
I'll separate myself from most definitely,
All right.
right? Right? It might not separate from the spirit, right? But definitely from the God concept. I am not rolling with, I'm rolling with being separate from that, right? It's got to get its own glory and own
So
recognition.
what's the main test that we would know if somebody done turned God into a noun?
Ask that again.
How would we they were saying once you turn God into a noun, a person, place, a thing,
Right.
then you separate it? How will we know when they done it?
Well, it's a factual thing. That's an awareness.
When they do that, that's when
It-
they be talking about he. That's the
it-
person.
there's an
You know what I mean?
awareness. There's a specific necessary awareness of that.
You talking about he, then you talking about
Oh,
the
man,
person.
yeah, I
You
know
talking about
here.
heaven. You talking about the place. You know
I'm
what I'm
gonna
saying?
Fuck around and say,
show you.
fuck around and say she and you in trouble.
I'm gonna show you. Listen to the test then. Alright? Who is Lord?
I have no kind of idea who God is.
Yeah, me.
If I'm going to name one, I'm going to name my mama anyway,
That's me.
right?
It's gonna be me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. So
So
I'm not
y'all understand how you know?
how I know that
Yeah,
who God
and
is.
turn them into that. You simply ask, who is Lord?
So it's my girlfriend back, like only 9 minutes later, and she.
So I'm going to say I don't know who God is. That's what I'm going to say.
No, you can't. But I didn't have to watch these. My girlfriend smelled my socks. If they
That
smell
makes
good.
sense? I don't
Hey,
know
man,
if y'all hold on what I'm saying yet.
Okay, yeah, your son.
Mute your mic, Jamie.
Like one
All right,
For a
hold
minute.
You tell me. Something by
Yeah. Go back to your before you accept this, and I ask you who is Lord.
I would say the father of Jesus and that'd be that, the creator of all, the
Right.
father of Jesus.
Yeah, if they name Lord, you know what I'm saying? Even if you intend it, if you put a name to it, then you done went into making it out of a noun. You with
Right.
me?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Well, Jehovah is Lord, or Allah is Lord.
Or that
Allah,
even that I'm
yeah.
God. That's a person, place, or thing.
Right.
Right.
Right, right.
Right.
Like, well, first you gotta, what that whole thing was saying at the beginning, Lord is a consciousness and all that. You know, on that consciousness that was there at the beginning. Whatever y'all want to say was there at the beginning, that consciousness, whatever, that life, whatever, I'm not with it. Ain't no separation from whoever you want to give recognition to it. And whatever you let me know about it, I'm that. It ain't separate from me. You know what I'm saying? But energy, consciousness, that's a more uh, high level way of explaining it than you putting a name to it. You know what I'm saying?
Put it back up, Jamie.
Hey, can you put it up? Because I had to switch to my phone.
Okay, bet. Bet. Can you see that good?
Yeah.
It's enlarged, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, bet. Okay. Once you think God is a noun, person, place, or a thing, you separate yourself from it and immediately become a limited being. See, as a Christian, I'm not going to disagree with that because you know what I said previously. Um, it's a necessity. Uh, common response to separate self from, because that God has to have its own glory, right?
Right.
Coming from the Christian consciousness, awareness, and
Yeah.
you have to be thoroughly aware of that. And so coming with the comedic thought, man, I totally agree with that because I know that I'm part of, I am the all, right? And nothing exists in me that hasn't existed before. Right. And so when you know you got a dose of the beginning and you try to separate yourself from whatever you think claim that you have a dose of in that beginning, it don't just dwindle away. I mean, shit in the compound. So and that's what I understand about the Nidagdad and the primordial waters. So in the comedic thought, I wouldn't have no problem with that.
You will never be separated from the all. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah. Not even in scripture. You know, he's supposed separated from his people at some time because the people didn't do right. And he separated himself from them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he always knew that he was separating himself from them. But he lives in a realm totally different from us automatically.
Yeah.
According to that, you know, in that mind, like, you know,
Exactly.
yeah. We're no equal to the Lord. The hell are you talking about?
Yeah, and from the Christian state, man, I'm so minimized, almost it's like degradation of this consciousness creation, right? Um, and so it's just a whole different view, man. And I see so clearly, I don't have to be compounded by being less than, right? Being separated from. And then I seem to act more more appropriate to being a productive member of society. Shit.
They
And have
had no
and
their religion where they can, you know, they can separate you from God.
and
And
have
they scripture that they, the Catholics would excommunicate you, you know what I'm saying?
right, right,
You might heard about Jehovah's Witnesses when they can't, go to the temple and get separated from church and God, whatever that's supposed to
right, right.
mean.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just so different. Um, yeah, well, it just makes me wonder, what opens the mind, man, to feeding the spirit with truth instead of buying into and being so consumed and defensive about defending
Fear,
this indoctrinated state of being, not only a mindset of actually being, so
fear,
fear, yeah, fear what?
hell, that same Lord gonna get you.
Fear of being wrong.
The same Lord that they thought that the Creator, He was this one, you know? Like y'all heard the story that nephew brought up the Chris brought up the Jamie was about the flood.
Right.
Only that there was a worldwide flood. You with me?
Worldwide flood. Right.
To believe in that, you gotta believe that every human on the earth got wiped out except 8 people.
Right.
Around 2000 BC. Only 8 people was on the world in 2000, come on, man.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
But you can't even go back to BC, Christian wise. You ain't going there. You ain't going there. You're going to starting at AD, where Christ stepped on the scene. I mean, that's the majority, right? As far back as they're going.
Yeah, right. They still have some thought about creation, a little bit. They might not go deep into it. But I'm real interested in what I'm saying. Somebody arguing that the memorable flood had to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at the time frame, when me was so absurd, it's only 8 people on the planet
Huh. Everybody
at
else gone.
2000 BC. Get the F out of here.
Right. Right.
Or whatever time, 8 people, but this ain't this Lord, he drowned everybody. So in the end, he gonna murder everybody.
Right.
That make them believe in shit that don't make no sense, you know? Instead of believing that don't make no sense, that this Lord gonna burn up everybody, you know what I'm saying? Now let me get on to the real knowledge.
I mean, it ain't even so difficult to understand. God is consciousness, which I don't even want to put that God in front of that, but God is consciousness. Well, I got to be part of that. How the hell am I going to be separate from that? How can that logically happen? right? It can't logically happen. So, and they say, well, we're not dealing with logic, we're dealing with faith. Well, I can't have faith in a story like that, man, no more. I can't do that.
Yeah,
Well,
because you definitely ain't.
if you grew
You,
up in that culture, right? And this was the mindset was, well, he already done flooded, he already done killed people, right? He done sent his son Jesus. All I gotta do is help that. And not only
And he
help
done threatened to
Jesus,
kill your ass again with fire.
yeah. No, that's the whole, that's the thing they put on you. I done hit my son now. You either believe that, or that's your ass. You know, that's what, and if you don't reject that, that's what your belief is. If you don't get no other knowledge and reject that, that's what your reality is. My grandmother who passed, that was her reality. You know what I'm saying?
I say to grandma.
Yeah, so people that I know who ain't into knowledge of health, that's their reality. They accept in Jesus, or they accept in Allah, or they accept in Jehovah, so they don't burn in hell.
Yeah, lighter. All right. So
Those
let's
who
read.
knowledge of health reject the hell story. You know, we understand the mayat, your heart being weighed. You know what I'm saying? Coming back, reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? Engines cannot be destroyed. Hell ain't gonna, what the hell? I mean, hold on. That's the difference between that. Let me want to finish reading. I know you're going way off.
It's hard not to, man. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
You play some simple questions for some um uh what's that, complex responses.
Mm.
Yeah, let me just swallow this. Give me. That's what or I think you separate and you become a limited being. That's what separates the believer, religious, from the knowers, spiritual. Go in on that, Jamie. Oh, you might not be there.
well, I tell you what, there is a clear difference between spirituality and religion. So, and that what they just what that last part right there is
What's the difference? What's the difference between those two and as Abrahamic faith? What's the difference? What would be the difference?
between
If,
spirituality and religion.
if you're in any Abrahamic faith, what would your perception be of the difference between the believer, religious, and from the knowers, spiritual? What would be the difference?
Well, one is dealing with the natural world around them, and the other one is dealing with the supernatural world. So that's completely different.
Is that what they would say?
Well, that's what I said. That's what I think. I think
Right?
that who would say Christians? No, the Christians they're gonna think that they are spiritual. Christians say that they're spiritual. They're very very spiritual. Spiritual.
Yeah, I took it to where I shouldn't know. I should have just kept with where you would be at before comedic thought.
Or before comedic thought, uh, uh, spirituality and yeah, I would have thought that I was spiritual too. Yeah, I thought I was spiritual too.
How would you
Yeah,
know? How would you know if you were spiritual?
shit. Only because I said so. Shit. That's that's that's, that's, that's the only goddamn way. Shit. That's, I mean, that's that's the only way I know. Shit, that shit shit. That's the only way to know. That's the only way you can know.
Hey, John
Is
Henry
shit.
Clark said it's about time we knight our own damn people, right?
I mean, shit. That's only it's self-proclaimed. You know what I'm saying? It's really self-proclaimed. Shit. I mean, because I said I was. I guess. Shit. I'm trying to be at least. You think you're being spiritual by studying some kind of religion or some kind of doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So you think that you're spiritual. You think that you're automatically a spiritual person. But but spirituality is dealing with the natural world, man, not the supernatural world. You know what I mean? It's dealing with self. It's not dealing with something outside of self. Religion does that, right? So that's how I look at that.
You're
Go back to the question that I put out earlier. Who is Lord? You with me?
right.
Who was what? Who was
You
what?
say you go back to his concept of who is God.
Okay.
Yeah, a religious person gonna give a name. A spiritual person not gonna have a name on no Lord.
Thank you. That's what I need.
You with me?
Right.
Right.
So I know, that's what he was saying earlier, that was separated by making it a noun. A person who have a noun gonna have a name. They gonna name their Lord. And that was automatically making them religious. If one person named Lord gonna have a whole different concept when the other person give a name to the Lord, what that would do. You know what I'm saying?
So my question to you guys both would be, how do you relate this how do you relate the religious and the spiritual and what you guys express with the you know, most people outside of Kemetic thought would refer to as the Netchers as gods. How do you differentiate that or relate those last two sentences to the Netchers?
They came to Egyptology. Egyptologists translated the word netter or netteru to mean gods and goddesses.
Gods and
Period.
goddesses.
Period for that. It comes from white Egyptologists translating the language. So so that means you gotta go to the source. What does netter mean? Netter is a attribute of the one. Okay? And if you actually get into the religion, some spiritual shit when they doing it. You with me? So a concept that we call air, right?
Right.
With us, air is just air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With them, they turned air and made it divine.
Divine.
And then it made it named it hue.
Right.
And it became a letter. the sun. Then I mean, you look at the sun. The sun was the line. It became raw. It became another. So when it became the line, some people can look at that as a Lord. And then that will be misrepresented. We look at the sun as a Lord, or the air as a Lord, or water as Lord, or wood as Lord, or man and woman as Lord. But they all are divine.
Right.
They
Right.
all are attributes of that same source. And that's how we use it. And you cannot separate that from us. So we gave praise to the Son. We praised God. We praised and we honored it. And we didn't do nothing to the ozone or nothing like that in the sky. We praised the water. And we didn't poison that goddamn water. You know what I'm saying? Well, we gotta drink bottled water now. You know what I'm saying? And the land was the line. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? We didn't poison the land and farm the land and do nothing crazy to the land. We even have declarations to say that we didn't do these type of things. I have not done these type of things. And all these things were considered divine. And would you not think that we would not think ourselves as divine? That's fucking crazy.
That's a big difference, right?
Yeah, we gonna separate ourselves from the divinity.
All
You
right.
know, we say God created everything. When we go back to the name, God created this, that, and the other. But he also created a goddamn promotion snake. You know what I'm saying? And we ate the whatever. And all of a sudden, we curse now. We
Right.
separate. Before we used to walk in the goddamn garden yard. You know what I'm saying? We used to walk in the garden with him
Right.
and talk with him. Now we separate. Get
Right.
the fuck out of here. Get out of here with that nonsense. Goofy ass shit. But you talk to Melina, and you ain't talking to him now. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say.
Not only you talk to believing, man, and talk to fear, the verse comes to mind, man, the fear of God is the beginning of understanding. Lean not on your own understanding, you know. So separative, man.
You better fear him. He's gonna kill your goddamn ass. You better fear him. Hey, he's a killer. So you gonna fear him anyway. You don't want him to kill you and send you on down there to hell. Yeah, he put you down there in hell.
So,
He going to hell. And
so
he
that's
gonna kill you.
a abusive relationship. You done got caught up in a very abusive relationship that you involved with a serial killer. You know
Damn,
what I'm saying?
damn, Gerald.
So, it's meant to get out of that relationship. You know what I'm saying? When you're in that relationship, you don't think you can get out of it. You think ain't no way out, but there's a way out.
Now, let me reiterate what you just said, man. You said when you're in a relationship with that abusive God that's a killer, you're in a relationship with a killer, and you need to get up out of that.
And that's Stockholm syndrome. That's Stockholm syndrome. When
If
you
you
connected
don't
to abuse,
believe, yeah, and if you don't believe that he a killer and he gonna do that, then the threat ain't on you no more. Then you walk away from it. That's what knowledge itself is. And that concept of what I call God that I had is a foreign or alien concept from my ancestors. And then Jamie say, I've been brought up in it. And I've been with it so long that, I used to defend it. I used to try to bring people in it. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, not no more. I've been hit now. I understand that maybe not me personally, but my ancestors was hit now, like Patty Hearst. You know what I'm saying? And when he first got away, he was defending them. You know what I'm saying? That was a Patty Hearst.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
syndrome.
Jamie, what is it when they say that the nature and the natural rules are gods? What you got to say about that?
Say it's a misconception. They're not gods. They're not gods at all. They were teaching tools, a way of teaching, and they were principles.
And
A lot of
how do you correlate and how do you correlate what you're going to continue to say with the last two sentences
the last two sentences of what?
of the God self?
Oh, hold on. So you saying
Believers, so believers religious, that's what separates the believers religious from the knowers spiritual. How do you equate they call the nature's gods with those two last sentences? Well, what can you do with that?
because one got it one because one is likes to, I guess, look at everything through the same biblical lens. And so they think that because they got a God, that we got many gods. Uh, but like I said, we don't have many gods. We have principles. We have concepts. You know what I mean? And and all these, some you're dealing with, some you're dealing with, like I said, the elements. Some you're dealing with different creations, like elements, and then you got, even other elements is being summoned up and created. You know what I mean? Other parts of the one are, what I'm saying, are expressed through zoomorphic pictorials, man. Like that was their way, how to explain a lot of our nature, a lot of nature. And so, I mean, that's, we can go on and on with that, man.
Right.
But they just chose, they chose the zoomorphic way of looking at things. So you can remember, you remember the falcon head dude walking around. You remember the dog head dude. You remember that. You know what I mean? And then you need to learn what they stood for, what the principles were, what was the science behind them. You know what I mean? What else did they represent? You know what I mean? So, it was just about learning about nature, natural world around us. And that's what it was, man. Learning about the sun, Ra. They knew that we couldn't live without the sun. They knew that we couldn't, that, what I'm saying, they knew that the sun brought life. You know what I mean? They couldn't live without water. You know, they knew that. So they revered it all, man. They deified it. You know what I mean? And made it, you know, to where, like Gerald said, you don't pollute the water that you gotta eat out of. You don't pollute the soil that you gotta eat out of. You don't pollute the air that you gotta breathe. You know what I mean? So you know they made that divine and sacred, man. And then you got other people that come in that don't look at it like that. You know what I mean? Barbarians and people that just didn't care about the natural world.
That's good. That's good.
What's yours?
Huh?
You know, the believers to me, man, is just it's about faith, man. In the vein of a Christian, it's about, you know, I got to know some facts. I got to study up, and I got to know, right? And then the religious concepts of definitely don't be asking no questions outside of what's uh preached in the church, right? Um, and then knowing is having to deal with my own divinity, man, and my own culture, you know, not an alien education. Um, with that alien education, I'm just deceived, and I'm believing that Christopher Columbus, um, uh, you know, founded the United States when people was already here, type shit, right? Common sense to tell you that that's not true, but then you go to that Christ was born, but there ain't no damn evidence of none of these people that wrote an idea of what Jesus was. Nobody, none of them cats experienced it. There ain't no bodies, no bones or nothing, man. And I like facts. So, um, and I just, in the Christian mindset, it just didn't matter. I didn't have anything else to work with outside of what I studied. So, um, and then I got my eyes open to being, you know, more about knowing, and that has a lot to do with the Afro-centered, you know, studies, you know, knowing thyself, the truth about ourselves. That's why we read the education that's in, you know, Naeem Akbar's Know Thyself, and study Dr. John Henry Clark, Asa Hilliard, Sheikh Anta Diop, Chancellor Williams, uh, a lot of them. Francis Cress Welsing,
Uh,
you know, don't stop me. You know, Stokely Carmichael, uh, uh, um,
all in that.
yeah. You know, Marcus Garvey and you know, Steve
You
Biko,
gonna leave out a
Steve
whole lot
Biko.
of them. You good.
Yeah. You know, and I
Right.
was just trying to catch the ones that
Well,
was on my mind. I was just trying to catch them and bring them out. You know, just, you know, the knowledge of self, man. Not this alien education of all these other folks, man, and discrediting us, man. And we gotta look up to these superheroes and shit that don't look nothing like me, man, and all this shit, man. And then bringing into this westernized way of living instead of listening and learning and remembering the ancestral thread, you know, and you know, so um, yeah, you know, it's a big difference, man. And being spiritual, man, that's being spiritual instead of misguided to me. You know, it's the study of my eye, you know, um, the 42 laws of my eye, and the four um, got my phone with me. Either way, man,
No.
It's just Afro-centered, it's just Afro-centered information, man. You know what I mean? And being able to appreciate that, you know, and be able to think clearly, you know, for myself instead of being led by fears and stuff like, you know, God is gonna burn me and I'm gonna burn in hell and I'm gonna walk through the fucking pearly gates. There was a post up and it said, you know, what would you say to God when you walk through the pearly gates? And I unloaded on that one. All right. So even though it ain't real. So there's a difference between, facts, what can I have for facts and show in our history, and opposed to what I'm just supposed to have faith in.
That's all man's consciousness. Now he done put pearly gates in heaven. So now they got gates in heaven. So this is just another place like this, right? So you know what I'm saying. Except for you don't have a body. What are you walking around in? I mean, it's like it gets really weird, man, when you get to start asking questions. You know what I mean? Like you got gates up in heaven. You got
Streets of
you know
gold.
streets of gold. I'm just saying they never mentioned. Like, is there women up there? I mean, do they have women up there? I mean, because you never hear about no women up there. You never hear about that. I just want to know: are they? Is there what's going on up there? Is it all men? I mean, what is it? What's happening up there? Right? I mean, you got a lot of so it's man.
It's only gonna be 144,000, man. Come on.
Hey man, the tickets sold out on that, man. They sold them tickets out long ago, man. But they do say that the ones that, they say they're more than 144,000 going. It's just that the rest of them is going to serve the 144,000. That's what a lot of them believe too.
Yeah.
So Gentiles and other people is gonna make it to heaven too, but they just gonna be there to serve the 144,000. So that's what that's about, man. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Like I said, I know that the 100. I would imagine that the 144,000 is sold out. There is a criteria to it. You had to be Hebrew. You had to belong to one of the 12 tribes, and it's only 12,000 coming out of each tribe. So,
Yeah, where we going with that?
so, 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 so there's a criteria. So you already know that you ain't gonna make that cut. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't none of one of them tribes, and you ain't up there yet already, I don't think you're gonna make it. Now you may be one of the ones that can get up there and serve the 144,000. You know what I mean? You'll be serving doing slavery or whatever. That's what they say. But other than that, you
They
ain't
got gates up there. They might as well have slavery, right?
yeah, they got the gates. They got gates. So we already know they got gates.
Or you can look at it in a different way. Because 144,000 is a frequency, and that's your higher self, and that's your heaven.
Yeah, but we can come up with all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah, we could.
We can come up with all kinds of shit, but that ain't what that Bible says.
But yeah, the book of suggestions is that it's people that's going up there. That it's 144,000 people that's going to be saved and that's going to make it to heaven, and that's it. And it's only going to be you got to be 12,000. So it's 12 tribes, and it's going to be 12,000 out of each tribe. That's get picked. So now if you ain't in one of the 12 tribes, you didn't make that first cut. And then if you is in one of the 12 tribes, you better get up there because there's only 12,000 of y'all going out of that up on that tribe.
Yeah,
So
you better get up there.
better get on up there. Get in line, and you know what I'm saying. So that's all I can say as far as the 144,000. Nah, so you ain't gonna be up there being served, is what I'm saying. If you do go up there, you're going up there to serve. And when they and so so you gotta watch out what they say in the Bible when they say you going to serve the Lord. Yeah, you going to serve the Lord, all right.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky. Yeah, they ain't got no problem with that either, man. They know they're going up to serve. You know what I mean?
You gotta read the fine print. You ain't read the fine print. You damn sure going up to serve. You're going to serve, but it ain't gonna be like you think it is.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't know how that shit gonna work, but it's interesting to see the ones that believe in that, the ones that's following that, as hey, you never know what happens to them. You got a lot of Christians that have passed away. I sure like to know how it worked out for them.
I'd like to know too, because I sure don't want to be wrong. But
I sure like to know how it worked out for them.
Yeah, and I just can't see that being right.
Yeah, they won't even send you a hint. So I mean, like for people to even, if this guy really wants you to do right and be right and I go to this right there. Be right. Uh, uh, if this guy, why wouldn't you just make it plain and simple, man, instead of, you know, just making it so complicated and convoluted, man, and just all over the damn place and just confusing. Hey, hold on a minute, man. Y'all go ahead though.
What's on your mind, Gerald? What's on your mind about this presentation?
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I thought it was real good questions, man, to ask and stuff. And I like how you bring that out in us, man. To let's explore this. Let's prepare for what can potentially happen, right? In conversation with anybody. Get prepared for it.
Oh yeah. When you said you shared it with the people, it kind of sparked my interest. You know what I'm saying? Even though they might not have said nothing. Even though we agree with it, everybody have a different concept of what we call Lord. You know what I'm saying? Which is all right. You know what I'm saying? You know, it names the name. That's why they Lord. We don't agree with. So they want to have our own discussion about it. And I appreciate y'all on doing that exercise. You know.
Yeah, I appreciate it too, man. That just like I said, man, gets us prepared. Make sure you're prepared for what you speak on, and everybody ain't prepared. I'm not always prepared as I think I am. So, um, and I like being open too. To learn something and hear something and maybe take back to prepare for it. Right. To see the difference. See if it fits. Do some research and side by side comparisons of items and things like that. But definitely be uh, work with Afro-centered perspectives.
Definitely. Definitely.
Right.
And we want to deal with the truth. And we know we done heard all the white lies masqueraded as truth. And now what we call knowledge is just make it truth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we have been um, indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying? So properly check your sources, you know, through Afrocentric learning usually will lead you easier than truth. You know what I'm saying? Going through these sources, don't have to have you going all the way back to Sankofa and then going back to the original.
Right.
So, I ain't seen no ulterior reason for us to lie about the truth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
that's
know, and somebody said earlier, they know Columbus ain't discovered nothing unless they say even over them for the white people.
Right.
Need more percentage in what you're saying. But you can't just over something that's already there. You know what I'm saying? So, once you understand that, you know what I'm saying? Simply, Columbus came to a place he didn't know existed. Because it was new to him. Period. You know? If you look at it from a native people who was already here, they'll say we was here, and some of their ship, you know, showed up. They were starving, didn't know how to eat. We saved them. Or they were starved. Next thing you know, they took over our country.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You treat with hospitality and get them all right, and then they want to steal and take claim.
Yeah, they put us on reservation. Now we almost, you can't even tell we was here now. We live on reservation.
Right.
Yeah. No, they not, that's the way that the Native American would have it. You know, the European telling it that way. We as Africans gotta understand that we not European. That's not our way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have a whole different history. You know what I'm saying? Some of us was here when the Europeans came. Many of us were enslaved. And the Europeans didn't want to work once they got this land. They didn't want to work their own land. They didn't know how to work the land. So they got people who was ill and who knew how to work land to come do it for them.
Had to come
You
see
know?
us.
Yeah. So that don't mean the way that we look at it. But that don't start our history, you know, and nothing like that. So, and then we don't have to accept or think we them when we tell our history. Their history is not our history.
And it's so liberating.
Mm.
You know, it's so freeing and liberating, you know, they talk about that unspeakable, unexpressible glory, man. I can express it. You know, yeah.
Well, when you know what I'm saying? There's a lot we accomplished. Times two, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We accomplished a lot when we were free, and we accomplished a lot when we was under oppression. You know what I'm saying? You know, we done had two different cycles. We had the Nile Valley accomplishment, and then we got the North American accomplishment, you know? And all of them, you know, are worthy of being talked about. None of it should be forgotten.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Well, when you were saying earlier, you know, the whole fundamental truth. If any religion wrong is any one of them, the hell with that religion.
Right.
Yeah. That's my religion. God damn it.
Right.
That's my religion in the whole fundamental truth. You know what I'm saying? So if your religion wrong in that, then we got a problem. You're dealing with belief. You're dealing with dogma. You're dealing with faith. And I can prove every one of them and evidence to man every one of them. And your religion or whatever other thing you into, it can't prove none of that. No, I don't want it. And I'm dealing with truth. Why would I want that? spirituality agree with all of that. Kinetic spirituality don't have no problem with none of that. You
There's,
know?
she can still sure hear your, understand you a whole lot better, man.
Okay. What up, Ken?
Hey, I love you guys.
Already.
I'll watch this later. Sorry I missed it.
No, it's all right.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
I'm
Pretty
doing
good one.
love you guys.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just want to close out with these four fundamentals, man. You know, I never want to forget these, man. And this is really a chin checker. Let's see where somebody's at. And you can always come on Sankofa 180 degrees on Fridays, where there's open mic night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, via Zoom. We do this every Friday. And then Sundays we got the presentations and discussions, and we answer questions to the discussions, at least dealing with Naeem Akbar's Know Thyself. And then we got the first Sundays, the children's book read or video watch. That's coming up next week. So, bring your kids, you view this, enjoy it with us. It only takes like maybe 30, 45 minutes, man, to learn some real history, real events, real locations, real people, man. People that got bones for, you know what I mean? And so we don't have to go on faith, you can go on facts. So we got that for the kids and any adults that want that. First Sundays, next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom and YouTube. So these four fundamental truths. So, Jimmy, you want to say anything before we do these?
No, yeah, no, you covered the king. We good. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. The four fundamental truths. Gerald always says, you can accept it or reject it, still facts. Scientific and historical facts. 1, Africa was the birthplace of humanity. 2, African people populated the entire earth. 3, African people developed the sciences, arts, and humanities. 4, African people have influenced the world for thousands of years. 4 fundamental truths, scientific and historical facts. We don't have to deal with faith. These are facts. So that's all I got, Jamie.
Hey, that's all facts, though. That's all facts. I mean, that's about as plain as you can get it, man. I mean, fundamental. That's fundamental truth. Facts. Really. I mean, fundamental. That's simple. That's just a simple fact. It's what they was kind of like what they're saying. You know what I mean? It's like a known fact. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing new, right? But it's very, very special. You know what I mean? It's just people just got to realize that. You know what I mean? And really, really internalize that what these four things are saying. What are they really, really saying, man? Like, you know what I mean? Not just to know, oh, that's nice to know. No, what is that really, really saying though, man, when it says that Africa was the birthplace of humanity? What is that really saying to you? You know what I mean? That Africa populated the whole earth. What is that saying to you? What is it? What you know? What I'm saying? What was it saying that it gave you the liberal arts, right? What is this? What is this? What is that saying to you? You know what I mean? That's what we gotta do. We gotta internalize what what is that really saying, man? I mean, just to know it ain't enough, man. I'm talking about what does that really mean, right? And man, when you start taking that real serious, man, you'll see how serious it is for our kids to know this, man, to know thyself, man. It's very, very serious, man. Very serious, you know, to know about our history, man. And I'm talking about, and it's all right to get to know Hebrew Israelite history, but you can go even farther back and find some a lot of our people, our people that was way before that, way before the Hebrew Israelites. All right, so let's just go back, man. Sankofa, let's go back, get what was lost, and bring it back forth, man. Right? That's what we need to do, man. Hey, thanks for joining, man. Hey, like, subscribe, share, and give us a comment, man. Let us know what y'all think. What you think, Juro?
Already. Yeah. I found the four fundamental truth, fundamental foundation is what you stand on. That's our foundation. That's what we stand on. Either you know it or you don't know that. If you don't know it, you should say, why I don't know that Africa was the first place. Why I don't know that it was African people who populated. Why I don't know it was African people who gave the world the sciences. Why I don't know it was African people who influenced the world for thousands of years. Not only in Africa, in the world. Africans on all parts of the continent were the first influencers. But that's the foundation. If you don't know that, then that's what that's the fundamental. That's what we stand on. There ain't no arguing about none of that with us. You know what I'm saying? That was all that Unc was saying earlier. They done that work. Books and books and books about that now foundation. Proving. Not that we were proving otherwise and we think that we were just slaves. And we think we gave no contribution to the world. And we think we waited for somebody to come and bring us into civilization.
That's
That's totally
crazy.
wrong.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's our foundation. That's what the house is built upon. And from that, when you don't agree with that, we can talk about anything. But because all four of them, Africa, we African centered. And even if I wasn't an African and I want to have knowledge himself, this would still be the foundation.
Still be the foundation.
And anywhere else, the people don't I know my people don't lie to me. If they ain't teaching this in the foundation, they lying. They miseducating you. Period. So that's all I want to say. Power love.
RBG, baby. No doubt about it.
All right. Now.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. So listen, fam, check us out, man. Next Sunday, we got the children's book read. Come and join us. It's really important, man, that we get our babies, man, to know thyself, man. To know where you
Yeah.
come from, know your history, know your people, know what they did, know where they come from. You know what I mean? You know who these different kings and queens were. You know what I mean? You know who was Imhotep. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like who was Queen Nzinga, right?
Who was Narmer?
Yeah, who was Narmer? Who are these people? Let's talk about it, man, and where they come from. You know what I mean? Let's talk about these different kingdoms and these different civilizations, man. They existed long before there was slavery, long before there was slavery. All right, let's talk about it, fam. Let's come together, man. Let's talk about it. All right.
Hey, I wanted to say
Thanks
too,
for
man.
joining, man. Hey,
I wanted to just say real quick, man. I like what where Becky was going with. Maybe it's about the frequency.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Ain't no damn doubt about it, right? She took it right to the neck.
yeah, that's like I said, man. That's just like, you know, when a person asks you how did we get here? Hey, man, pick a theory. Shit, you know, pick one that you like. They got several out here. You know, you just pick one, the one that you like best. You know what I mean?
If it ain't founded in those four fundamentals, it's probably garbage.
Well, then there's somebody telling somebody about it. That's what it is. Somebody telling somebody about it, and then they you know, somebody just in their mind, this is what they thought. This is how they think it should have went. I think this is how it went. So they write it in a book, and then you got people that take the book and say, "Oh, this is how it happened." You know,
As far as that, my answer is I don't care what, it's not my belief, but the evidence show that we evolve.
Right.
That's what the evidence show that we evolve, whether I like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, to this day, it might mean something come up later. Today's evidence show that we evolve. It wasn't no six-day creation. Evidence show that the planet, it took time for the planet and everything to evolve. You know, man, it was no six-day Adam and Eve. So, I reject that theory. You know what I'm saying?
I reject that one.
Yeah. The whole, well, you believe we come from monkeys and all that. Now the monkey is still the monkey. Okay? I don't reject evolution. That's what I don't reject. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that.
that what, but like I said, but you got other theories out there. You got evolution. You got intelligent design. You got some different things going on out here. You know, so
Yeah,
you
but
know,
intelligent design can be within evolution. You know what I'm saying?
you said intelligent design is within evolution.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah,
You
like
want
I
to
said,
explain that, sir? Can you
I
prove
mean,
that?
you can go, you can pick whatever you want.
The evolution of us knows
Say that again, Gerald.
Hold on.
the intelligence of humanity. So, the evolution of humanity shows that sometimes the intelligence is lying.
Right. 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 I accept it.
Mm.
So say that. So what? Say it again.
So he said evolution proves intelligent design.
How's that? How?
Evolution of humanity.
Evolution of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how does intelligent design fit into that?
They are the evolution of humanity.
Huh?
They are the evolution of humanity.
Evolution of humanity.
The
So
opposite, evolving. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, there's design in that, right?
No,
Intelligent.
yeah,
It has to
so
be from consciousness, right? I mean, that's
not a concept of evolving. It's not a devolving. instead of going backwards. You know,
But
humanity
you
needs
can't go. No, you can't go. No, you can't go. You can't go backwards. I mean, unless you got to have a
yeah,
starting point. So you can't go backwards. Not in that sense, but I'm talking about. But I'm talking about as far as evolution. How does intelligent design? How does an outside force? What does an outside force have anything to do with evolving?
what is, what makes
What I'm saying is how do what so how do we mix metaphysics into literalism?
So you saying that evolution and intelligence don't mix? They're separate.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see that they're
however,
separate. But
so that's what I'm saying. So you don't see them separate. So how do you explain uh, uh, metaphysics with literalism? You mixing it? Because intelligent design is a metaphysical thing. It's not. It's not. It's metaphysical. So what I'm saying is, what we're doing is we're mixing metaphysical with a literal thing here. So when we say intelligent design, and we say evolution, evolution is something evolving as time passes. It's something, as maybe the weather changed, maybe the diet changed, maybe whatever changed, you evolve, and you evolve into that, where you're able to sustain life at that point. But then
well, that's
where does the metaphysical come in at?
so I'm not separating it from metaphysical in the discussion. I guess that's where we get to, but off the top, I just think it's all correlated. I think it's all part of, the intelligence of evolution, man. I think if we're dealing with the mind,
When you say
if you're correlating intelligence with the mind instead of and being a created a difference, right? Then I see where you're going with that.
yeah, because when you talk about intelligent design, you're talking about like a god. You're talking about this Yahweh cat. So now this Yahweh cat is the
But
intelligent
see,
designer
yeah, but that's
of
one.
what. So what I'm trying to figure out is how does a Yahweh fit into evolution?
I don't think that's I think that you're explaining that, especially specifically from that frame of mind, right? But when there again, that's the difference between the Abrahamic faiths and the Kemetic thought. I don't think there's a separation in Kemetic thought, and when we get to an Abrahamic faith, then separation ensues.
Yeah, I think that they're separate. I don't think you can have intelligent design, and I think that it's two different designs. That's two different creations. You can have a creation story with God that he poofed and made man out of mud. However he made it, however that happened, right? And then or you could go with the single cell, the single cell organism, microorganisms, and all this kind of stuff, and the heat and the friction and energy and whatever, sun and whatever, mixing together, and life creates, or some kind of bacteria, or some create some kind of cell creates whatever. You know
Right.
what I mean? You know, but
So
or you could
you
go
don't
with,
correlate that with intelligence.
well, not intelligent design, not coming from Yahweh or
Exactly.
Yahshua.
That's the point that I'm saying, right? So if we get into the discussion and the mindset, we go back to once again, like you opened up with, especially in the conversation that we was having before we went live. Now we got to distinguish between what the fuck we talking about, right? in the arena of who we're talking to or hearing from, right? But if you stay, I think that in comedic thought, I don't think I guess if you just remove the word intelligence and just put design, there's no separation.
I can't go with that.
You can't
Because
agree
if
with
you
that
go
one?
to, oh man, intelligent design, that, like I said, that's saying that Yahweh created man. And you know what
Why
I'm saying?
you
And that's your,
saying that? Well, what
that's the
makes me
intelligent
keep
design.
saying that?
Huh?
Why you keep putting Yahweh on intelligent design?
Because
Or
that's
take
what,
intelligent off and just
that's
put design. Just design.
because that's what I'm comparing it to. I'm comparing
Why
it
not
to,
put? Why
Because
not put?
hey, Jamie
Why
said because I
not?
said so.
Why not
no, I'm
put it
comparing,
on
Jamie said because I
Patah?
no,
said so.
no,
Why
I'm
not put
comparing it
it
to,
on
from,
Nana Patah?
I'm
Who
showing a
has the
difference between
intelligent
evolution.
design?
I'm just showing a difference between evolution and intelligent design. There is a complete difference.
Hmm?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a
Why
difference
is it a
between,
difference? And what frame of mind
because
are you coming from
what,
with the
because
decision with the difference?
Sorry.
because when you're talking about intelligent design, you're talking about like a God figure, some kind of God that's doing these things. This God is creating this stuff. The God is doing this.
No,
Yeah, that's what creature. That's what it is.
but
And then when you talking about evolution, now you're not talking about no now Yahweh is out of the picture. Now we're talking about science.
Now I don't know if you
so
being I don't know if you I don't know what you're doing. I
You don't know what I'm doing, huh?
I don't know if you setting me up or if what the fuck you doing.
you accept or you reject.
That's my boy right there. I gotta ask for clarification for a minute, man. Pause. Can we get off live? Can we get off live for a minute? Type shit.
Hey, yeah, hold on. Let's get off, man. Hey, family. Hey, check us out, man. We're gonna get back with you.
That's my
Peace
dude
to
right there. That's my
you.
boy.
I'll get out of here.
Mhm.
Oh, right, it's supposed to. There you go. Hold on. Man, it is. Oh, how stuff is going live, right?
I don't know on the phone.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, it's too late now. We got to keep it going, baby.
Hold on.
Shipped on the top it was like. See
Hey,
what?
peace to you, Queen Becky.
Peace.
And no, that's end the meeting for all.
Oh,
I'm trying to just end the meeting for the.
I don't know. Did the live stay
No.
going when you switched over from the computer to your phone?
I don't know. Get on there. Oh yeah, it's still live right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
Even
click
when
on
you
the live.
switch, even when you switch from your phone, it gave a message that you were switching. That's my nigga right
Nigga trying to find out how to shut it off live from his phone.
there. Right.
Click on live right there and see if that'll show up. Well, we 5 seconds away.
Hold on, man.
Hey, take your time. It's all good. It's all good.
Uh,
Yeah. So Jamie, you still see it as different, right?
yeah.
Even in comedic thought, you see it as separate,
Intelligent design, different from.
or just design. Take intelligent out off it.
Well, what I'm talking about is the difference. The difference I was making. The point I was making was you can choose. You got theories. The intelligent design. What I meant by that was you got a God like in the Bible. You can pick that theory as how we got here, or you can pick the scientific theory of how we got here. You know what I mean? There's many theories that we can pick, and what I'm saying is, and I just chose. I just called it intelligent design, which both of them meant a higher being creating this designing man or whatever, right? So that's all that was. We just got caught up in the wording and right. But I'm saying from you could use the theory that a God created man, or this is how we got here, or you could use the theory, the scientific theory,
Right.
evolution, right? You know,
Which one you believe?
I go with evolution, man.
Science all day.
I go with the science. I don't really mess with the mythos, or yeah, something in the sky, create these things, creating us or whatever.
Yeah, we
And
don't
it's
have to be all
and
in.
it's obvious it's a man, because it is a man. We know that.
Yeah,
So
what?
we got that covered. It's a man. God is a man. He's a man,
Right.
right? That so we know that whatever it is that created the sun, moon, and stars is just like us.
Yeah. No,
So
I can't go with that.
that's man. That's man creating God in
Yeah,
his
I
own
can't.
image and likeness. That's what that is. That's man creating God in his own image and likeness. And that's what we've done.
And that's what we've done as a people, but that's
Yeah.
not what was done factually.
Yeah, that's factual. That's what man did. Man created God.
Yeah, that's factual. Yeah, that's factual. I
So
knew
yeah,
that was coming. I
man,
knew that
yeah,
one
man,
was coming.
yeah, man definitely created God. You can bet that.
Right.
And then God turned around and created man. See?
That's some bomb shit right there, man. Right. Yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah,
We can't
yeah.
pass that. We can't pass. I mean, that's the factual truth of what's going on, man. But uh, that just can't be, man.
Now, with me with evolution and intelligent design, from what I understand, it ain't got to be no either or.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it's either I gotta pick one or the other. I accept them both.
Okay. Right.
I accept intelligent design within evolution.
You want to say something about that? Care. I was trying to pull Carrie into it, but she said, "Oh no."
What?
Yeah.
What?
I accept
Carrie said what?
Carrie said, "No, she ain't getting into it."
Yeah. No, I don't accept intelligent design, man. I don't. I don't accept that. I accept science, the scientific science, man. I don't accept nothing outside of science on
Yeah,
that tip.
once we start separating, then I'm in agreement with you for sure, man. The same thing Gerald was talking about. It's all encompassed, man. And then once you start separating the intelligence of, where is that intelligence coming from? And then that can go all over the place. But most of the time, I think people are talking about intelligent design as coming from a humanistic standpoint.
Papa had the intelligence to create everything in the world. Papa, None of them not. So
Say it again. Say it again.
that's not no Yahweh or nobody.
He said Ptah had intelligent design
With his mind.
with his mind.
So
Yeah, but I mean,
See, and that's
within,
what I said. If we're correlating intelligence with the mind, then I mean that's the whole subject right there.
well, you hear me?
Say it again. You faded.
The mind is metaphysical.
Right.